Why don't Chabad Chassidim have long Peyos like other Chassidic groups?
You know that I don't answer questions in halacha. And this is a halacha question, I'm not a Rav, which is talking about a deiraisa of hashchosas Peyos. So I can't answer the halachic part of the question. I can only answer what I think is the Chassidic part of the question. The reason the Chassidim have long Peyos is a pashat tezach. Peyos are a mitzvah. And you don't want to cut them. Peyos are a mitzvah. It's like a person has a beard. Yeah, you say, oh, my beard is long enough, I'm going to cut it. Now, of course, a beard is a different issue than Peyos. But Peyos are a mitzvah. So whatever hair grows, that's a mitzvah, you see, save. So if a person lives long enough, they're going to get long Peyos because you're not going to touch them because they're a mitzvah. So then the question becomes on us, why don't we wear long Peyos? And the interessante Zach is, I don't know if I saw it in print or I heard it, that somebody once asked the Rebbe, how come we don't have long Peyos? And the Rebbe's response was, the question is not why we don't have long Peyos. The question is why you do. Because if you look at Yossi Arizal, the Arizal specifically writes not to have long Peyos. The Arizal writes about the shear of Peyos, I guess it's in Pashas Kedoshim, and he specifically writes that outside the place where the Peyos are a mitzvah, there's no point in having them, and it could even be a unique. In other words, it could be an undesirable thing, which explains our minhag to not have long Peyos. But I will say several things. First of all, and this is very, very important, and this is really a shaila farov, in as much as Peyos is concerned in the place where the Peyos is a mitzvah, which is over here, this part of the head, and as it comes down till here, you have to ask a Rav how Peyos are supposed to be allowed to grow and not be cut, because a lot of people are not particular about Peyos in the place of Peyos. And this is not the issue. The issue is only about outside the place of Peyos. And the second thing is, in the end, in other words, even though our custom is not to have long Peyos, because of what says in Yossi Arizal, this is a minig Yisrael. Lange Peyos, long Peyos is a minig Yisrael. And I'm not certain that somebody who has long Peyos from his tradition and becomes a Lubavitcher Chassid, if it would be the right thing for him to cut his Peyos. And I'll finish with a very, very interesting thing. The Frierdiker Rebbe came from non-Chabad Chassidim. Right? The Frierdiker Rebbe's mother was a Chernobyl Einikel, and the Frierdiker Rebbe had long Peyos. He managed to keep his Peyos a secret. How could a person with paralysis and all of those limitations? The Frierdiker Rebbe had long Peyos underneath his yarmulke. If you look very, very closely at the photos, you can see that the Peyos are pulled out underneath the yarmulke. I heard, I don't know how true it is, but I heard they discovered this when he passed away. The Frierdiker Rebbe had Peyos because in his mother's mishpach it was an Inyan. The Rebbe did not have Peyos, although people pointed out that towards the last few years, Memches, Memtes, there were a little bit of Peyos behind the ear, a little bit, but never in the way that you have it by Chassidic Peyos.